Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Grow Wealthy Grooming. I am your host, Riverly, and I am founder of the Savvy Groomer, where I teach you guys how to go from being burnt out, broken to healthy, wealthy, and happy, building a grooming business on your terms. So today's episode is sponsored by, well, first of all, today's episode is Should My Staff Know My Pricing? Now, this is, as one user said, a very good subject. I could not agree more. I think this is a subject that, for better or for worse, we're going to have to talk about. Whoop. And today is sponsored by the Employee Pay Masterclass, which is a 6-module masterclass where we teach you all about how to pay your employees legally. Remember, guys, paying 50% is bullshit. We here at the Savvy Groomer have cracked the code on paying employees a livable wage that they're happy with and create sustainable profit for grooming business owners. We're going to introduce you guys to the Pay Masterclass, a 6-module exploration how to legally pay W-2 employees, specifically designed for the pet grooming business. We're going to be busting myths while teaching you the skills and winning formulas that you need to create a pay structure that actually works. So guys, let's go ahead and hop into today's topic. Should your staff know your pricing? So again, at the Savvy Groomer, we don't think that employees should know your pricing. So this is because they may come into the mindset of thinking, oh, this business is making so much money and I'm only making this much, right? And that's why we don't suggest paying employees commission. We suggest paying them hourly plus a production bonus, ideally using the point system, which again, we're going to talk about later. So here are some key reasons that you may choose to not disclose pricing to your employees. Number one, keeping your pricing confidential. If your employees know your pricing, there's a risk that they may share with your competitors. Now, we 100% believe in community over competition. It's just a weird place for your employees. They have two options there, right? They can either say you're charging too much, you're ripping people off, or they can feel like you're undervaluing yourselves. And again, I want them to focus on what they do best, which is to groom pets. I don't mind if they have an opinion. I don't mind, if they want to share it with me. But what I don't want is my employee to sit there and say, oh, you're not charging enough. You have to do this or you have to do that, right? And again, I'm going to assume that you guys have taken the price increase masterclass and your prices are appropriate for the business, right? But again, if they're making an hourly plus production based on a point system, they're not going to be sitting there counting how much you're charging, right? Versus if they get a cut of it, they're going to have an opinion. Another reason is to focus on quality. So if my bathers and groomers know pricing, they may want to cut corners to increase revenue and rush through the process to make more money. Again, if they're commission or if their bonuses are based on a dollar amount. I don't know about you, but when I worked at the Petco, PetSmart kind of places, the more pets you did, regardless of the quality, I made more money. And it used to really piss me off because I would see these groomers barely bathe the dogs, stick it in a kennel dryer, let them kettle dry for hours, shave them down, do no finish work, and they made more money than me because they were able to do more pets and they weren't worried about it because the quality didn't matter. Now, of course, for us as business owners, we're going to sit there and we're going to watch the quality. But again, the more pets that we're doing, the more money they're going to be making, the more money we're going to be making. Sometimes it's really hard, right, to sit there and tell someone, no, you have to make less money because your quality is not there. This gets rid of the conversation by just charging hourly and paying employees hourly. I got some bubbles today. Customer service. If an employee knows they are going to try to upsell customers into services they don't necessarily need. Now, if you've heard me on these episodes, you know I hate how the industry makes $10, $15 teeth brushing seem like a good deal. It does nothing for the pet. It's dishonest, and it's just a cash grab. It makes me crazy. Brushing the teeth on a pet, right, for 5 minutes with toothpaste and then never brushing it again really does nothing for the pet. It doesn't do anything for the pet. It doesn't do anything for you. And if anything, it gives the owner a false sense of they're doing something. And again, especially when your groom price is anywhere between 50 to 60 bucks, I think that charging 10 or $15 and doing that is a cash grab. Just raise your prices, include that if you want to, but then again, say, listen, we're going to brush his teeth. You really should be doing it at home, but we're just going to include it. I think when we charge, 10 or $15, especially when our groom prices, right, are 60 to 70 bucks, it's just not an appropriate price amount. And it does nothing for them. And again, I think it takes a level of professionalism out of groomers or bathers' hands. If I'm upselling a product or a service the pet does not need, I may be leading to a more expensive option versus what the pet actually needs or what the customer's actually going to get value from. That's where I personally enjoy having an all-in-one kind of service. And as a professional, I should be able to decide what the pet needs. I don't like a business model where I'm encouraging my groomer to upsell them just to make them more money, rather than decide, okay, does this pet actually need this, or am I just trying to make some extra money? Another way is avoiding pay negotiations with your employees. So if your employees know their prices, they may try to negotiate a higher pay based on the perceived profitability of the business. For instance, let's say they know you charge $100 for a small Shih Tzu haircut, and they're doing about 8 dogs a day, right? So it's about $800 a day, and they're earning $30 an hour. Now they're sitting there looking at that $240 a day, which is about 30% gross profit, and you're making $560 a day. They're like, that's so unfair. I'm only making this much and they're making that much. Now, they may ask for a raise and feeling that they're entitled to it, to more money, even though you don't consider the business expenses, right? And other factors. They don't know you just spent $80,000 on a renovation. They don't know you have a credit line from when you opened the business. They don't know that the monthly rent jumped from $2,000 to $4,000, right? They just feel resentful because all they see is the gross profit and not necessarily the net profit. And that's where, again, when they're doing the math and they're figuring out their cut, it just leads to really inappropriate things. Now, to prevent your, sorry, kitty. My kitty has this little haircut and he is just like all about it right now. So to prevent your grooming employees from knowing your prices, you should have a dedicated manager, owner, receptionist, whoever, or even a VA, dealing with all of the front end stuff. So dealing with the phone calls, the booking, all of that. Okay. And I don't think it's appropriate for bathers or groomers to be checking in and out dogs. I don't. I think that it's not appropriate for them because, again, they should be doing what they're good at, which is grooming and bathing. They are an income producing staff member. It's better to pay a support staff and let the people that are earning you money keep doing what they do best, which is earn you money. Okay. You really, when we talk very specifically about roles and tiers, now determine each role and tier and what the tasks will be. Again, a lot of the checking in and out can be really simplified by things like a VA, a membership model. Again, if you have a membership model, you don't even have to worry about that groomer or bather checking in and out dog. It's literally like, hey, they already have what's in their membership. They take the dog in the back, they groom the dog, and when the owner is done, they come bring them out. That's very different than how much was the groom, how much was this, how much was that. So we do touch upon different roles and tiers and how to kind of determine them a little bit in the pay masterclass. But we spend an entire hour, about an hour, 15 minutes actually, and it's a whole module in the hire masterclass, all about like how to actually set up roles, how to set up tiers. Because with your hourly pay, with production for these employees in a perfect world, you would have each role and tier have a set dollar amount, right? And again, that's based on production. And then of course, beyond that, they would go ahead and get themselves a production bonus. Now, in the employee pay masterclass, in module 6, lesson 2, we do talk about all different kinds of bonuses. So, lost my train of thought. An hourly employee is an employee who is paid for the actual hours that they work, right? So the bonuses are meant to complement your employees' base hourly pay. That's so important because, again, I want them to think about how many hours they're working along with this production bonus. And again, a point system is not a dollar amount. They're not getting a cut of my gross profit. They're getting a cut of the amount of effort and production that they work on. Okay. And for some of it, there's different things that can complement it. And you might be like, okay, well, why does the business use bonuses? Why not just give them straight commission? Well, again, you can reward them when they are productive and they hit their goals, to show gratitude to loyal long-term employees, to entice potential employees, right? And again, I highly suggest a production bonus, and they are monetary rewards outside of a professional's usual pay or salary they received after meeting or exceeding a certain performance expectation. And the way I teach that is based upon a point system, okay, or what we call the GPS system. And again, that is the Savvy Groomer point system. And the basic way of explaining this is that 1 point equals to about 1 unit of effort. And it can be advantageous so employees know that how many points a pet is considered. That way, it's like a game to see how many points they can get and to accomplish. Again, using this point system, I'm not sitting there saying, I just made $800 a day and you made 240. Instead, I say, hey, look, you earned 16 points today towards your total goal, right? And as you're getting closer to this goal, right, they're going to get their production bonus. I also teach in the Pay Masterclass to pay out these production bonuses quarterly. Why? Because then I'm guaranteed that my employee will stay through the end of the quarter. And if they leave before the end of the quarter, they're out of luck. This, again, allows me to use these point systems and this production bonus to reward things like long-term loyalty, showing up to work, right? And again, remember, if I have a groomer who has $800 a day and that's their goal, right? Well, tomorrow it's a whole new day. It's a whole nother $800, right? By using things like the point system, right? And I'm going to go ahead, my cat's sitting on my phone. Well, let me go ahead and pull this out just because I want to make sure my math is right. Let's say I call each Shih Tzu a 2-point dog, right? So it's 1 point for the bath, 1 point for the haircut. I'm going to assume that my groomer is doing, for easy math, 5 a day, 5 days a week. That's 25 Shih Tzus a week, which is 50 points. So my groomer is a 200-point a month employee. So that means that every quarter, I expect them to do 600 points. So if they want to take a week out of work, they either have to make up those points or they can use something like points time off. And again, instead of them saying in their head, I have to groom X amount of dollars per dogs, now they're looking at everything in a point system. It's amazing how much more fun for the employee, for the group, for everyone it is when we start thinking about this in a point system versus trying to sit there and figure out how much dollars. So guys, you got this. I totally believe in you. Fire, please don't play with my ring light. I finally got a ring light going and he is loving it. He wants to go ahead and play with it. So for those of, and again, kitten, you're in my way, my love. So guys, if you're interested in learning more about the Pay Masterclass, you can visit me at savvygroomer.com/PGMC. And again, this is a 6-module masterclass where we teach you how to go and pay your employees. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of Grow Wealthy Grooming. Again, feel free to visit me at savvygroomer.com to see my current opportunities to work with me in growing your pet grooming business, plus more free resources for you to learn. We literally have hundreds of hours for free on YouTube. We have our Greedy Bitch podcast. We have so many ways of working with you guys. And if you guys are looking for a great place for support, you can join me in my free Facebook community, Savvy Pet Pros. So guys, as always, happy grooming. Now I'm going to be sliding over to our Savvy Groomer membership and our group mentoring, because they will have an opportunity to ask us more in-depth questions about this. So if you are interested in joining the group mentorship, getting weekly coaching, the Pay Masterclass will actually be taught live this quarter. So they're going to be taught the 6-module masterclass all about how to pay employees legally. They learned the pricing and points masterclass, and they're also going to be learning a workshop on how to switch employees from commission to hourly wage. So it's going to be a fun time this quarter. And then next quarter, we're going to be announcing what we're going to be teaching there. Again, you get a weekly coaching call. It's such a great community. I'm really blessed. It's something I really love to do. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and swap over to the Q&A in group mentoring. It has been an absolute blast talking with all of you. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciate you all being here live, and we're going to keep coming live for a little bit longer. I'm thinking we're going to do it through at least the end of April, if not May. And again, if it's something that works well, we'll keep doing it. If it's something that you guys don't really find value in, that's okay too. We might switch that up. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. So guys, thank you again so much for being here. As always, happy grooming.